What is up, everyone? Please take a second to hit that like button. The more likes that we get in a short period of time, the more people the algorithm will bring into the chat to come and hang out with us and see what's going on. So please hit that like button. Let me know how you're doing, and happy freedom. So I'm gonna read through the chats really quick and then we'll get her started. There we go. I couldn't see the chat at first. What's up, Toy Mafia? What's up, Jim? What's up, Shadow? What's up, Jamie and Deborah? Happy freedom, you hooligans. What's up, Sawdog? What's up, Norman? What's up, Damon Walker? What's up, Mike Drop? What's up, Mountain Life? What's up, Adam? Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, Zero Gravity? What's up, Adrian? What's up, Tink? What's up, Bubba? What's up, Maria? Thank you so much, Ray, for continuing the membership program for 2 months. You're officially a hooligan. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. What's up, Run America? What's up, Amy? Happy freedom. Oi. What's up, V Diddy? Welcome to the live. Make sure you guys racking up those likes. More likes, more hooligans. Holy moly, they're not shadow banning the JeffMAC live channel. Usually that provides cover for us. We got the JeffMAC channel and then the JeffMAC live channel, and normally they're shadow banning us, but not right now. They're not. I wonder why. What's up, Dad? Happy freedom. What's up, Grey Wolf? What's up, Two Ruby Shoes? What's up, Low Tech? What's up, Peyton? Captain Seamus, thank you so much for continuing the subscription on Twitch for 18 months. You're officially a hooligan. I appreciate you, Captain Seamus. Thank you. What's up, Tom? What's up, David? Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, everyone on Odyssey? Captain Seamus, yes. I'm trying, but I need like another 6 ring lights, and at $40 a piece, and the fact I can't even afford a Twisted Tea, it's got me stuck in a hard spot. What's up, Sam? What's up, Anthony? What's up, Cybo? Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, everyone on Rumble? What's up, Speedy Girl? What's up, Serum? What's up, Pumpkin? What's up, Bad Hombre? What's up, Film What Matters? What's up, Baby Boomer? Rasta, Jeb, 69. Appreciate you hooligans being here. Make sure you hit that like button or that plus button, whatever it looks like on your end. Rack these likes up and bring in more hooligans. What's up, everyone on JeffMacLive.com. All right, that's enough with the niceties. Let's get her started. We're going to be doing the White House press briefing. I think it's about an hour long. And then we're going to cover Old Man Walter and Hyena Harris celebrating February. That's how we're going to do it. YouTube's just hovering over me. They demonetized that last live for no reason. For absolutely no reason. So I got to walk on eggshells even more. Pretty soon I won't even speak. I'll just do hand signals and stuff. And you guys will just have to pick up what I'm laying down or come over to where free speech is accepted. One or the other. All right, hooligans, let's get her started.
Good afternoon. Happy Monday. Okay, so before we dive into regularly scheduled programming here, I have my colleague from the National Security Council, who will be John Kirby, who will be talking about some recent developments over the weekend in the Middle East, and he'll have something to say at the top.
She trying to look like Lil Annie?
Take some questions, and then I'll take the rest of the questions you have on domestic issues, I'm sure.
That's great.
She be smoking that hard rock pipe.
So I just have two updates for you from the Middle East region, with one also related to Ukraine. As you saw in the statement yesterday from Mr. Sullivan, senior officials from Jordan, Egypt, Israel, the Palestinian Authority, and the United States met over the weekend in Aqaba, Jordan.
My coffee's Irish.
Its kind in decades, with political and security representation from all participants. It also resulted in the first agreement of any kind in many years. The Aqaba communique includes commitments from the Israeli and the Palestinian sides to de-escalate and prevent further violence. The two sides also affirmed their commitments to all previous agreements between them and to work towards a just and lasting peace. Now, as we said, this meeting was a starting point, but it was an important one. And the importance was demonstrated quite clearly by the violence we saw just yesterday in the West Bank. And we're seeing reports today of additional violence. But in yesterday's violence, 2 Israelis were murdered, and then Israeli citizens sought to take revenge in a Palestinian town, resulting in 1 Palestinian death and many others injured. The State Department spoke to this yesterday. I'm sure you saw that, and we condemn the violence, of course, in all its forms. We also fully agree with the statements from President Herzog and Prime Minister Netanyahu that citizens cannot take the law into their own hands. What happened was totally unacceptable, something that we've heard loud and clear from our Israeli partners.
Just wait till that happens here.
The meeting was designed precisely to help manage and diffuse crises like this, to enhance political and security coordination to help protect Israelis and Palestinians alike. The President extends his personal thanks to His Majesty King Abdullah of Jordan and to President Sisi of Egypt for helping to convene this session. The United States will continue to remain actively engaged in this format with all parties over the coming weeks, including through a follow-up engagement next month in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. Now, my second update has to do with Saudi Arabia and Ukraine. As you know, we are, and we have been for the last year, asking all partners to do what they can to support Ukraine. And so we welcome the visit.
Asking Paul Pelosi's partner.
Foreign Minister and senior
Howdy, partner.
humanitarian and energy officials to Kyiv for meetings with President Zelensky and, of course, the rest of his leadership team.
I'm gonna need to chill out on that coffee.
Ministerial visit by an Arab state to Kyiv since the war began. During the visit, the Saudis and Ukrainians formalized arrangements for the delivery of $400 million in assistance, including generators and badly needed energy products and supplies. Now, these deliveries will begin arriving next week. This is an important announcement. I'd also point to Saudi Arabia's vote in favor of the UN General Assembly resolution just last week on Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It's 4th on these resolutions. Coming on the heels of the President's historic visit to Kyiv, we are asking all partners to do what they can, as I said, to support Ukraine, and we recognize these are sovereign decisions that they have to make. The Saudi initiative is a positive step from the Middle East region, and we hope to see more from our partners over there in the coming months.
Thanks, John.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Nadia.
I have 2 questions actually on both topics. Let me start with Saudi Arabia. You just praised him on the UN vote and on sending $400 million in energy supplies to Ukraine. How does it fit in the general strategy, or the review rather, that the White House said they will take in the aftermath of the OPEC Plus decision?
Okay. Do you have a second one, or you want to wait on that one? So, look, Nadia, I think you know this, and I've spoken to this many times. I mean, looking at this bilateral relationship was never about producing a homework assignment. That's just a misnomer. That was never the intent here. We have been strategic partners with Saudi Arabia now for 8 decades, across multiple administrations and certainly across party lines. And there's been ups and downs in this relationship. We've been very candid about that as well. But this announcement yesterday in Kyiv of $400 million in support, largely to help Ukraine recover from the energy attacks on their infrastructure, is an important one. And again, we were glad to see it. The other things that we've been happy to see in recent months is a truce now in Yemen that's on its 10th month. Been consistent. I mean, literally thousands of Yemeni lives have been saved by this truce. By moving forward on a regional defense architecture with Saudi Arabia to help, not only help Saudi Arabia defend itself against attacks, and they still come under attack, but also to help us by helping them in protecting the 70-some-odd thousand Americans, both military and civilian, who live in Saudi Arabia. We're working with Saudi Arabia, and we're glad to see progress on things like 5G and 6G through something called O-RAN technologies. And obviously, coming on the heels of the president's trip, we're working to...
They were doing what?
To see if we can improve integration of Israel throughout the region. And I think... Now that you remind me that announcement over the weekend from Oman that they are now going to allow overflight of their airspace to and from Israel, that also is significant progress that we've seen here, and that is a direct result of the president's engagement on that trip over last summer to the region. So look, I've been very consistent. I'll say it again today. We are focused on making sure that this, like all other bilateral relationships, serves the interests of the American people first and foremost. That's where the president's head is, and that's what we're focused on here. We're focused on moving this forward, and we believe that the announcement, again, over the weekend by Saudi Arabia is a step in the right direction.
And second, on the Aqaba communique, despite what you said, it did not really translate on what's happening on the ground. We have seen another wave of violence this morning, as you alluded to. 30 houses of Palestinians have been torched by settlers who are, according to international law, they are illegal in this in the settlements.
Well, our position on settlements stays consistent. I mean, nothing's changed about that. We view the expansion of settlements as an obstacle to peace. We've been very clear about that. And as I said in my opening statement, the violence we saw over the weekend is just another example of why it's important that we get both sides together to work on ways to de-escalate. So the Aqaba communique, while I understand the point of the question, it happened over the same weekend that there was violence, but that it happened is still a good sign, at least a step that both sides are willing to work to de-escalate it. And you saw very swiftly coming out of the Israeli side, condemning Israeli citizens who were, as I said in my opening statement, taking the law into their own hands. That was their law in their own hands. That was not an insignificant statement on their part.
Well, my question is about Prime Minister Netanyahu, who said he will continue with the settlement activities. Is this any consequences for him?
Well, if you look at the communique, it says that they're not going to be discussing additional settlements now for 6 months. That's a positive sign, we think. And again, we've been very clear with the Prime Minister and the new government about our position on settlements. Obstacle to peace, we want to see a viable two-state solution. We don't believe that additional settlements work to that end. We've been very consistent on that.
To follow up on Nadia, when the Saudi Arabian government decided to slash oil production targets last year, you said that was an effort to aid Russia's war effort. Given what you've seen over this weekend, would the administration now say that Saudi Arabia is helping Ukraine in this war?
Yeah, I think I don't know that I could improve upon what I've said before here on this. We view this announcement over the weekend as a step in the right direction, and it's an important one that they are giving, that they actually went to Kyiv and through their foreign ministry directly pledged $400 million in energy infrastructure and financial assistance is not insignificant. It's a positive step. We're glad to see it.
Thanks, Greg. John, on the Department of Energy's findings, the lab leak most likely caused the pandemic. How should
oh my goodness.
How should Americans understand China's response here, saying that this is politically motivated, it's a lie, there's no science to back it, and swatting down this information?
Well, I can't speak for the Chinese, and I wouldn't endeavor to do that. But just let me back up a little bit. The president made trying to find the origins of code a priority right when he came into office. And he's got a whole of government effort designed to do that.
We might have to cut YouTube out of this. We can't talk about this stuff on YouTube. All the videos that are talking about this leak is against community guidelines. Okay, so we are 10 minutes into this. We're going to move to the Hyena Harris thing. Then we're going to cut YouTube out, and we're going to watch the rest of the press briefing. I can't risk it. I just can't risk it. It's not worth it. If I get a strike right now, I won't be live again until May. I don't got time for that. You guys are going to have to watch on a free speech platform. That's just all there is to it.
United States, and Dwayne Portis Jr.
Every day they play the music and it gets a little closer to Darth Vader Imperial March. It's getting there. It's getting there. Zombie Cartman, risk it. I will once I can pay bills again. I've been eating canned food since October. If I go down now, I won't be a live streamer anymore. That's how serious it is. Can't do it. You guys have to go to where free speech is welcome. Too bad. I don't know what else to say. I can't keep sticking my neck out there. How many strikes do I gotta catch before you guys believe me? Wow, they cut the music out of their own live.
Hello. My name is Dwayne Portis Jr. I'm a high school senior from the south side of Chicago. I play basketball and volleyball, the percussion and band, and try my hand in screenwriting and theater while keeping up my straight A's with a 4.5 GPA. Two weeks ago, my classmates were invited to a screening of the movie Till here at the White House. Emmett Till was about my age when he left Chicago to visit his family in Mississippi. We all know the story of how he never came back, but how he never left our nation's conscience. I wasn't able to attend the screening, but my friends told me how cool it was to see President Biden and what it means to be in a place where you feel seen in the history of our country. I thought I missed my chance for good until the White House asked that I join you all today. And it is truly amazing to be here, especially with my mom. She instilled in me the values of hard work, faith, and service. As a family, we volunteer at food pantries and clothing drives. Seeing how mental illness impacts my peers, I've organized events to raise awareness and advocate for additional services. I also mentor middle school students and collaborate with nonprofits in the Chicagoland area to safeguard our environment. For me, Black history isn't just about the past. It's about what we all do in big and small ways to build the future we all want for our communities and our country. That's why it's incredible to be with two people who are making that future possible. President Biden, thank you for welcoming me and my mom and all my friends to the White House. It's an experience that will change all of our lives. And hopefully I'll be able to see more of you in Washington. I'm currently applying to colleges, and I want to go to a HBCU. But my top choice is Howard University. So it's an extra honor to introduce one of its greatest alumni. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Vice President of the United States of America, Mrs. Kamala Harris. Prostitute.
I think he's gonna get in.
Oh, I bet, Hyena Harris. I bet. You gonna let him right in, aren't you?
Oh, you make us so proud. You make us so proud. You'll get in, and you're gonna be a wonderful bison. A wonderful bison. Well, thank you, Dwayne, for that introduction. And your life of service, you have already chosen to live a life of service and leadership. You know, I think that we all know, and part of our tradition and our responsibility is to remind our young people that you are born a leader. Yes. And it's just a matter of when you decide to turn that on. And you decided at an early age, and your country and we all benefit from that work. So thank you. So to everyone here, all of Dwayne's friends, our president, Joe Biden, members of our cabinet who are here, members of the Congressional Black Caucus, and to everyone here, and in particular our young leaders, thank you all for your leadership and for us all being together this afternoon. So during Black History Month, we celebrate all of those who through courage and conviction, through resistance and resilience, from bold discoveries and cutting-edge research to arts and music and a myriad of other disciplines, advanced freedom, liberty, and opportunity for the benefit of all Americans. We celebrate legends whose words and their work inspire millions and millions, not only in our country, but around the world. And we celebrate the others whose names are less well known, from those who led the fight for abolition, to factory workers and Pullman porters who built the middle class, from Tuskegee Airmen who took on both fascism and racism, to freedom fighters and freedom riders and marchers who stood tall and sat in.
Who streets?
Astronauts who blazed a trail to the stars and ignited our imagination. To those who continue to make impact as faith leaders and activists, teachers, and small business owners. All of the hardworking people who inspire our children to dream with ambition and aspiration, to determine their own future, and to live up to their God-given potential. It is those stories that remind us that Black history is American history. Living history, breathing history, history that we create every day, and history that we then must teach and celebrate. A history that helps us to understand how the past has influenced the present and potentially our future. And let us all be clear, we will not, as a nation, build a better future for America by trying to erase America's past.
Except Antifa and BLM was pulling down statues a couple years ago, but nah, let's not talk about that.
We must recognize the full arc of our nation's history. And as I've said many times before, I do believe history to be a relay race of sorts. We have each been passed the baton. And then we
I gotta make some more coffee. I'll be right back.
the best way we can, and then we pass the baton to the next generation. So during Black History Month, we celebrate the heroes of the past, as well as those who currently carry the baton. The innovators and barrier breakers across our country and in this room, those who inspire our nation through their work and their example. And as we work then to carry that baton further, let us continue to make progress in the many ways that we do, understanding the interconnection between all of our work and our collective work in the fight for justice. When we replace, for example, every lead pipe in our nation and put more electric buses on the road, we not only fight the climate crisis, we invest in infrastructure and all of those babies who should not have to drink toxic water. We fight the crisis of maternal mortality and other health inequities, understanding it is about elevating our response to a public health crisis, and it is also about addressing systemic inequities that led to those outcomes in the first place. When we make sure all entrepreneurs can access the capital they need to start and grow a business, we know it is about creating economic growth and opportunity, and also dealing with a history where far too many were excluded from the opportunity to be on that path of gaining economic wealth. When we help Americans afford to buy a home, we build intergenerational wealth and address the legacies of disparities. In the relay race of history, the baton is in our hands, and we have a President of the United States who is so deeply committed, and I see this every day, who is so deeply committed to pass on a better and more just America. So please join me in welcoming the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Are they friend or foe?
Well, thank you for that introduction. I want to thank Doug and Kamala. You know, Jill, my wife, I'm her husband.
Hello.
You all think I'm kidding. Jill wanted to be here. She just got back from her trip to Kenya and Namibia.
She was kissing guys over in Kenya?
Powerful trip as a follow-up to the African Leaders Summit we hosted here in December to deepen the relationship between America and countries across that continent. She met with the presidents and first ladies of both countries. She spoke to more than 1,000 young people, the first generation born out of apartheid in Namibia, and empowered them as keepers of democracy. In Kenya, she met families affected by devastating drought and food insecurity and made worse by Putin's brutal assault on Ukraine. And it made it clear that America's commitment to Africa is real, and Jill showing up, just being there, is testament to that commitment. It was a trip she'll always remember, and while she couldn't be here tonight, we're honored to welcome all of you to the White House, your house, Black History Month. A special thanks to members of the most diverse administration in history who are here. The most diverse administration in history, right, Jim? Jim Carver. I tell you what, man. Father, I wouldn't be standing here without Jim. Thanks to the members of Congress who are here, starting with the first Black party leader in Congress in our nation's history, Hakeem Jeffries. He's here in spite of the fact when he ran the first time I campaigned for him. What the? And the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, Stephen Harshford. Stephen, where are you? I campaigned for him, too. I don't know what this means. They don't talk to me anymore, though. I'm only kidding. And the civil rights and business leaders are here today. And by the way, I've worked a long time with my home state, HBCU, Delaware State.
Yes, sir.
Now, by the way, you said you played basketball? I want to introduce you to an All-American. Come here, pal. You see this guy here?
Strong arming him.
He's better than Tiny Archibald. This is a guy, first team All, not a joke. Not a joke.
It's not a joke.
playing pro ball, except come on, man. When he got older. His one daughter ran my office in Delaware for a long time, the reason I'm here. And his second daughter here happens to be the congressman from the state of Delaware. But this guy, not only can he play ball, the reason his daughters have this kind of, I don't know, spark to change the world is because he did that too. So anyway, I want to say thank you. Thank you, Paul. Good to see you. You know, I know real power when I see it, the Divine Nine. We're honored to have presidents, all the presidents here tonight. And I want to thank him. And by the way, I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid. I know where the power is. I know where the power. You think I'm joking? I learned a long time ago about the Divine Nine. And that's why I spent so much time at Delaware State campaigning and organizing my campaign in Delaware. But,
what an embarrassment.
All the presidents are here. I know we are the first administration in history to not only have all the presidents here at one time, but we have a permanent office here with the Divine Nine. But I got worried. We got so many damn guys working with me from Morgan State. Morgan, man, I'm a little worried about it. Anyway, I'm not going to get in the middle of that. I shouldn't kid about it. I should know better. Look, folks, I also want to thank the marching band of Virginia State University.
I like that the sign in the background has the same color scheme as the mystery machine from Scooby-Doo.
Dwayne, who you just heard from. Dwayne, I'm sure you didn't have a chance to check out Delaware State. Howard, but Howard's okay. I mean, Howard's a good school. By the way, I'm the only guy, for all the power in this room, I'm the only guy who had the president of a Divine Nine school work for him for years. And he got his doctorate while he was working for me, and then he went off and became a president. What the hell did he want to do that for? I don't know. But anyway, all kidding aside, you may be president one day. Here's the one commitment I want from you. And that is when they say, Joe Biden's out in the waiting room, you promise me you will not say Joe who.
The facial expressions with the hand signs over there is entertainment in itself.
As Dwayne just referenced, we recently hosted a screening of the movie Till. We hosted the screening because it's important to say from the White House for the entire country to hear, history matters. History matters, and Black history matters. Look, I can't just choose to learn what we want to know. We learn what we should know. We have to learn everything, the good, the bad, the truth, and who we are as a nation. That's what great nations do. And we're a great nation. And that's why the great historian, Carter G. Woodson, Dean of Howard University, more than 100 years ago, had a vision and a purpose. He thought there should be a Black History Month. Yes. First guy to do it, to the best of my knowledge. And it's turned into Black History, I think he said Black History Week the first time. And it turned into Black History Month. And look, the legacy that's been continued by the Association for the Study of African American life and history. It's a legacy that continues today as we celebrate the vast contributions Black Americans have made to American history. We celebrate all of you and the progress we made together the past 2 years. Progress to lay the foundation for a stronger, more resilient, more equitable economy that grows from the bottom up and the middle out. So the poor have a ladder up, the middle class do well, and the wealthy always do well when everybody else does well. So I ain't worried about them. All kidding aside, they do well. This idea somehow we're only focusing on middle class and the poor. The wealthy do very well when the middle class are doing well. We created over 12 million jobs, the strongest job growth of any presidency in the first 2 years of our history. Black unemployment is near record lows. Wages for Black workers are up in the 2 strongest years ever for small business creation, which includes strong growth in Black small businesses. And guess what? It's not just the business that gets started. Imagine what the neighborhoods would be without those small businesses, without the beauty shop, the drugstore. It's the center of what creates a community. the engines and glue to keep communities going. So it's not just the small business. More Black Americans have health insurance today than any previous time in American history. And with the help of many of you, we've gotten millions of people insured under the Affordable Care Act by making it easier for them to sign up and making it more affordable, saving millions and millions of dollars overall for people making, and people getting an $800 a year break in their health insurance. For the first time, we've empowered Medicare to negotiate drug prices. We finally beat them. Finally took them on because of the people in this room. That means instead of paying $300-400 a month for insulin, as of January 1st, it's capped at $35 a month, period, for those on Medicare. The parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, we also capped out-of-pocket costs for seniors in Medicare at a maximum of $2,000 per year, no matter what their costs are. They're not going to be more than $2,000 beginning in 2025 because some of those cancer drugs they have to pay for are $10,000, $12,000, $14,000 a year. Total $2,000 a year, no matter how much your costs are. We passed a law to make the biggest investment ever in climate than any time, anywhere in history. And look, in particular focus, what we talked about a lot, Jim and others and I, we talked about those fence line communities. Those fence line communities suffered the most consequences of being smothered by pollution. Think of Cancer Alley in Louisiana or Route 9 in the state of Delaware. They're the first out we're going to take care of. They're the first of the Americans we're going to take care of with this new legislation. And our once-in-a-generation infrastructure law is modernizing Americans' roads, bridges, ports, airports. With equity at the center of everything we do. Our Justice 40 initiative means that 40% of the overall benefits of clean energy, transit, and clean transit, and many other things, is going to go to those underserved communities. That's the objective. We're replacing, as was mentioned by my colleague, our vice president, poisonous lead pipes for every child in America being eliminated. We got schools, 400,000 schools and nurseries that have these lead pipes in them. We can turn on a faucet at home and drink clean water. We're delivering.
I don't know how he can say that with the way Ohio is right now.
Parents should have to pull up in front of McDonald's for their kid to be able to do their homework. No, it's for real. Speaking of education, instead of a photo ops, we're delivering nearly $6 billion. I promise we would do $6 billion to HBCUs. Without the kind of foundations that other schools have, we got to make sure they have the same laboratories, the same research capacity that everybody else, because their students can do anything anybody else can do, but they need to have the facility to do it. We're going to increase their teaching and training capacity and attract millions of dollars from the private sector, investing in industries of the future like cybersecurity. One of the best ways to close the racial wealth gap, as was referenced earlier, is to expand access to homeownership. That's how the vast majority of the middle class has done it. That's how they built wealth and stability and pass it down to their children and grandchildren. That's why we're expanding efforts to build back a generational wealth through home ownership and aggressively combating racial discrimination in housing. Folks, my administration oversees hundreds of billions of dollars in federal contracts for everything from refurbishing aircraft carrier decks to installing railings in federal buildings. So as President of the United States, I get to award those contracts. Most of you don't know, I didn't even know, I've been around a long time, but back in 1933, they passed an Buy American legislation. It doesn't violate any international rules. It says that the money the President of the United States is given by the Congress to award contracts, you should buy America first. It's been around a long time, but guess what? The vast majority of previous presidents, Democrat and Republican, didn't apply it. But if you want to build anything in America, it's got to be an American product and buy American. No, I'm not joking. That's why Black and brown-owned businesses and other underserved communities have been historically underrepresented in such federal contracting. I committed by 2025, we're going to increase that 15% of every single contract I award as President of the United States will go to Black and brown small businesses. And the effect of that is that'll bring an additional $100 billion in federal contracting money to these communities. To deliver equal justice under the law, we're building a federal bench with judges that reflect all of America, led by Ketanji Brown Jackson. A promised you a number of things. Very specifically, I said the first nominee to the Supreme Court is going to be a black woman. And that I was going to pick a black woman to be Vice President of the United States of America. We've appointed more black women to the Federal Circuit courts than every other president in history combined. Every single solitary one. And by the way, Dick Durbin of Illinois deserves enormous credit for that getting done. Look, after Senate Republicans blocked the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act last year, with your help, and some of you in this room actually helped me write it, I signed a historic executive order requiring key elements of that bill in federal law enforcement. I banned chokeholds, greatly restricted no-knock warrants, created a national database for officers' misconduct, and to lighten use of force policies emphasizing de-escalation in the way in which police officers work. To take a fresh approach to recruit, hire, train law enforcement, all of which are tied to effective and accountable community policing and advance public trust and safety. And as I made clear in the State of the Union, with the presidents of Tyree Nichols,
I'm surprised they didn't give him the handheld mic today.
Dad, we need a Congress to come together to pass police reform legislation. With your help, I signed the first major gun safety legislation in nearly 30 years. And guess what? I'll say
Guess what?
we're going to ban assault weapons before we're out of here.
Good luck to you.
Ban them, ban them, ban them.
He's gonna take those assault weapons. But we don't need assault, so that's all right.
For the mere possession of marijuana. Too many minorities are in prison for that. So what I've passed, we should pardon them, expunge their record.
You're gonna take away our Second Amendment, but then you're gonna give everybody weed. Okay.
Folks, I just signed legislation most people don't think is going to be very consequential, but it is to the people there. Legislation to cap the cost of phone calls in prisons, that prisons charge incarcerated people, just a step toward basic dignity. And folks, last year after the mass shooting in Buffalo, Jill and I spent time, I met with all those families. I also convened the first of its kind White House Summit Against Hate-Fueled Violence that many of you called for and supported. Together we're saying loud and clearly that in America, hate will not prevail. Hate will not prevail. Silence is complicity. Yes. Silence, and we're not going to remain silent.
Hit the streets, Joe. Whose streets?
And it is unacceptable.
Hands up, don't shoot.
I signed a law more than
Whose lives matter? We can do them all. Get out there, Joe. Show that real support.
Amazing.
Go burn a church down. Get those dumpster fires going in solidarity.
Join me at the bill signing for other victories to protect the right to interracial and same-sex marriages, to make Juneteenth a federal holiday. You've been key partners on executive orders I've signed advancing racial equality and justice and support underserved communities. But we have to keep going. We're not finished yet. Many of you have been working on these issues for a long, long time. We've gotten a lot done together, but we have a lot more to do. And people know, we have to, first of all, let people know what we've done, even in your communities. They don't know all that we've done. We have to make it clear. And we're not stopping, because that gives them confidence that we're going to keep going. Remind them why it's important to get engaged. And their voices do matter. So we've got to talk about it. Spread the word, defend our progress, finish the job. For example, my student debt relief plan, which will help tens of millions of folks and on Pell Grants hit hard by the pandemic. About 70% of black college students receive Pell Grants. For many black students, this savings will be so significant, including wiping out their entire student debt completely. But currently, the only thing blocking that plan is opponents of the plan suing us. Today, there was argued in the Supreme Court whether or not my plan is able to be done by executive order. They're the same folks who had hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars in pandemic relief loans forgiven, and many of them in Congress, by the way, Republicans, who voted for tax cuts for overwhelmingly benefit the wealthiest people in America, who are the people who paid to bring these suits. Look, folks, you got to give me a break. My administration is making our case in the Supreme Court.
I keep turning the volume up and he keeps talking quieter and quieter.
I promise you, I have your back, and this is so much more we can do. Folks, we have to stand together to protect women's right to choose. We have to continue to fight for racial justice. We cut black child poverty in half in 2021 because of the child tax credit. Look, we need to help make that tax credit permanent now. I signed the Bipartisan Electoral Count Reform Act to protect the will of the people and the peaceful transfer of power. But we must get the Congress to vote on the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. I made clear that we cannot let the filibuster be an obstacle protecting that sacred right to vote. Look, let me close with this. I'm going quickly because you've been standing a long time, and I apologize.
That's you going quickly?
What would have been Dr. King's 94th birthday. I spoke in the pulpit at Ebenezer on a Sunday service. The next day, on Dr. King's holiday, I joined Reverend Sharpton and the National Action Network to talk policy. The day after, we stood here in the East Room with Steph Curry, an NBA champion who was a supporter of the champion Golden State Warriors. That continued.
Took everything they had to keep Hyena Harris off her knees when he was there.
Bigger than just the game they play. Speaking out against racism, standing up for equality, encouraging people to vote, empowering children and their families to eat healthy, learn, and play in safe places. Rallying the country against gun violence, in faith and action, policy and culture, and so much more. We see the vibrancy of black culture and history enriching all of American life, all of American life.
Racism is the White House's boogeyman.
The soul of this nation. It's who we are. It's who we are. It matters. As the gospel song sings, we've come too far from where we started. Nobody told me the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. Folks, I don't think the good Lord brought us anything this far to leave us behind. We just have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's nothing beyond our capacity. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So happy Black History Month. May God bless you all, and enjoy the reception which starts after the next performance that's about to be announced.
He's got teleprompters and he's still lost.
All right, who's going to announce? They're going to announce it? All right.
Distinguished guests, please welcome Anthony Brown and Group Therapy.
Could be all this. They need a lyric video. I don't know the words to the song. Oh, that's where all the handheld microphones went. That's why old man Walter didn't get one.
Stony the road we trod, bitter the chance we trod, comes in the days when no unborn has died, yet with the steady.
I had no idea we would be witnessing this. So I just want to remind you guys, After this, we're going to be finishing the White House press briefing. I can't show it on YouTube because right, like, first or second question, they're trying to break the community guidelines, so I can't even show the White House press briefings anymore on YouTube. I'm telling you, it's Trash Bandicoot over here. I'm about to play the game tonight, I think. I might show it on this channel and JeffMAC Gaming, because that's kind of all I can show on YouTube anymore. Cat videos, dog videos, gaming, and ASMR. Everything else, that's only for big channels. I'm not Fox News, so I can't show that kind of stuff. I don't know. Either way, you guys are going to have to get ready to come over to Rumble, Odyssey, or JeffMacLive.com to see the rest of the live after this is over. I want to hear some Gangsta's Paradise.
God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on thy way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us for
Crack shot. Merry Christmas. I know I'm waiting for some Christmas carols.
in the
How come they didn't do this stuff around Christmas time?
we pray.
Hey, thanks for being here, Sherry.
Bless our feet straight from the places above when we met thee. Bless our hearts drunk with the wine of the world we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God.
JT3 has some Holly Jolly Molly Ranchers. I'm saying. What is the sign language person even spelling out here? The lyrics? Really? Because I don't think so. I don't know. I think she's just making it up. Or he, or whatever it is.
Y'all can sing, man. You know, I know most of those songs for a simple reason. As my buddy from Delaware can tell you, when you're involved in the civil rights movement as a kid in high school, I used to go down to the black church. I go to 7:30 Mass. I'm a practicing Catholic. Then I go to 10 o'clock. And then we sit and plan what we're going to do in terms of desegregation. You think I'm joking, I'm not. And the only drawback I had, Jim, everybody thought I was a good guy, except I can't sing worth a damn. My dad, when he was a college age, he didn't go to college, but he had a band. And my dad played a reed instrument. He played the saxophone and the clarinet, and he could sing and he could dance. He'd look at me once in a while and said, "Joe, I don't know where you came from, honey. You have no lip, you can't sing, and you can't carry a tune in a wheelbarrow, but I still love you anyway." But at any rate, thank you all so much. I mean this sincerely. I want to thank the talent, but also want to thank the talent in this room. We wouldn't be anywhere without the people in this room. Not a joke. Not only would I not be standing here, we wouldn't have passed all the stuff that's made a difference. I look back on my career of 280 years here. But all kidding aside.
How much ass kissing can he do in one life?
We couldn't do something, we got it done. And we're going to do it again. So
he's going to need some chapstick.
My Irish Catholic mom would say, "God bless you, dear. Let's go get him," okay? Thanks.
Well, hooligans, I tried my best to show the White House press briefing and whatever that was. But unfortunately, I can't show the rest of the White House press briefing because the things they're talking about is against the YouTube community guidelines. If I'm not here tomorrow, it's because I caught a strike for that nonsense. And that means I won't be live again until May, because your strike takes 90 days to expire. And I already got one for showing Marjorie Taylor Greene a week ago. I can't keep risking it. It tis what it tis. I appreciate you guys being here to hang out for the little bit we could show. I'm going to drop the links in the chat here in a second, and you guys are going to have to come over to the free speech platforms to watch the rest of the White House press briefing. You will have until 10 after to make your way over to these free speech platforms. You can watch on Rumble, Odyssey, JeffMAClive.com, and Twitch. I mean, you can watch on Twitter if you would like. I don't know why people don't, but it's there if you would like. So give me a second to drop these links. Actually, I'm just going to drop the link tree so you can just pick off the list where you want to go. Find a place that fits you best. But I suggest Rumble. And if you use Rumble, use the browser. Use Chrome or Mozilla Firefox or Safari or something like that, and go to Rumble, and then you'll see the live chat. Because if you use the app, it's not good from what I hear. People say Rumble's chat sucks, but they act like YouTube's community guidelines don't suck more. In a bad way. Patriot Operator, I have not heard that reference. I have not heard that before. Hey, I appreciate you being here, Annie. Thank you so much, Jake from State Farm, for that $2 donation on YouTube. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, High Plains Drifter, for continuing the membership program for 8 months. You're officially a hooligan. I appreciate you guys. You got another minute left. You got to make it over to the free speech platforms. Let's see. Robert, having trouble with Chrome. I have to use the app. No chat. I think you can find the chat, but I think you have to scroll back and forth between the chat and the live. You can't watch it and type at the same time. You guys could always go to JeffMAClive.com. I spent $1,000 to provide you guys with the most uncensored chat and social media on the planet. Can't beg you guys enough to go over there. It's totally wide open. It's the best way to watch the live and hang out with other hooligans. Dana, I had trouble getting on Rumble. Hold on a second. I'll drop the link to the actual live on Rumble. Alright, I'll give you another minute. Click that Rumble link, and let's move forward with the live. Captain Seamus, Odyssey is the best. Yeah, I think Rumble and Odyssey are competing, but at least Odyssey has their stuff together. Their chat and everything works correctly. Thank you so much, Sam, for that $25 donation over on Odyssey. I appreciate you, Sam. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anthony. What do they call these over here? Credits? Is that what these are? Thank you so much for the credit over on Odyssey. I appreciate you, Anthony. Thank you. All right, we are cutting YouTube out of the live. We still have like 50 minutes or something left of the White House press briefing, so hopefully you guys make your way over. Give me a second here to help communism out of the room so the rest of us hooligans can get on with our day.